this to Dan. Um, so you guys can close your eyes and maybe like you can set your phone on your chest, you can set your phone down. I don't have to see you. Okay? And so that you don't have to be holding anything, you don't have to be concerned with anything other than just being present here right now. And I'll say this, I did have a little bit of resistance to doing this, um, to doing something this slow with you guys, like thinking, no, this is the final week. Like, this is the week before the 31st where we put all this crazy faith into big things happening. We need to maybe get some stuff done. And really, I think actually the bigger thing, and this is something that I've really struggled with this week, is the being still part of it. When we set goals, sometimes the stillness doesn't come. We do all of the things to try to make it happen versus sitting still and letting it happen. And you guys just begin breathing, okay? Just breathing. Maybe you notice you take a deep breath, but I'm going to say this story really quick and then we'll start diving in. But just allowing your breath to start moving and start flowing, and you just recognizing, listening to my voice, but also taking the seat of the observer as well in your own body. So I am teaching physiology, and as a teacher, I like to give an experience so that they remember it. So it's like so many people teach off of slides that it's really hard for people to actually take the material in because it's freaking boring. And so for me, it's like I'll do all this study, and then I will get my outline and then I'll go teach right away. Well, I got really challenged with this subject that I'm teaching right now because there's so much to it. And so I was thinking, I have to watch a million videos to make sure I have the foundation, da 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 da. And this morning, I just sat still. I didn't try to learn anything. And as I was sitting still, the thoughts started flowing, like the information started coming. So it was when I was doing it, I was stressed. I couldn't get the information organized. But when I was sitting still and letting it build itself, letting the outline build itself, letting the creative juices flow. Like maybe I should talk about it. Maybe I should talk about the digestive system this way first, but when should I put metabolism in here? Oh, let's let it dance. Let's tell it like a story. And I started to flow and I started to get like more energy around it. So it wasn't me going to it. It was it coming to me. And I think right now, what you guys are trying to do is go to it versus recognizing there's such a powerful place in letting it come to you, especially in the season of most of us are workaholics. Okay. So going ahead and just sitting still and recognizing where your breath is going, where it's going in your body just naturally as you're breathing here. Is your breath shallow? Is it deep? Is it going to your belly? As soon as you started observing it, did it change? Just noticing where your breath is going. Noticing as it's passing in, where does it naturally go? Does it go to your chest? Does it go to your rib cage, your lower rib cage? Does it go to your belly? Does it go to your pelvis? Does it stay in your throat? Where does it go without you having to force it to go there? I'm getting called to talk about the word anticipation. anticipating the interruption, anticipating the next step, anticipating the next direction. And because of the anticipation, you're not allowing yourself to release and just follow your breath. So I want you to think that maybe this is the only thing that I ask you to do this whole time. Maybe there's not another step and we just sit here and we breathe. What if I didn't interrupt this breath process at all? And you guys just got to follow your breath. So I want you to think like that. I might still guide you and I might not, but I don't want you to think that you're about to be interrupted. Right? Isn't that funny? Interruptions, anticipation, just falling back into, even if you get interrupted, can you be so present with where your breath is going, not where you're sending your breath, where your breath is going. There's a difference. I want you guys to visualize for a moment with your breath having this natural flow, you letting it go where it needs to go. Your cells aren't barriers. They're not strict walls. They have pores, they have holes, they flow. They're called fluid mosaic, meaning that their outer border moves and is flexible with its environment, which means as you're breathing in, things are moving naturally without force, just a passive movement. There's different types of movement or transportation within the body. There's active and then there's passive. How much of you is trying to actively do this process? How much of you is trying here? And as you are starting to allow this process to be more passive and you just observe it, I want you to know that if you fall asleep, it's okay. Fall asleep knowing that as you're breathing in and out, that breath is pumping things in and out of your cells. You can think of toxins pumping in and out, processes that maybe can't happen because there's too much activity in the body. There is a homeostasis that happens. There is a breakdown and a build up, and they happen in a balanced state. But I think what's happening is we're getting so caught up in the work. And so then we're anticipating the next step, anticipating where we should send our breath. Recognizing as you're breathing, are there spaces that your breath wants to go to, but you're resisting it, thinking, no, it shouldn't go there? Recognizing your resistance to letting the breath move where it needs to move and go where it needs to go. And maybe you don't notice any resistance to that. Maybe you're falling into that flow. But I want to bring your attention to, if you want to take a deep breath, are you resisting that? If your breath wants to be shallow, are you resisting that? If it wants to move into a space of pain, are you resisting that? If your body is going beyond breath and there's an encouragement to move or stretch, maybe your neck is getting tight and it's being called to stretch, right? But because you think you have to follow what I'm telling you to do, maybe you're holding stillness when your body wants to move. Honor that, okay? As you've let your bodies kind of have free reign, your breath have free reign, right? That, and maybe it's a silent breath. Maybe you've been called to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Maybe in through your nose and out through your nose, in through the mouth, out through the mouth, whatever it might be, in through the mouth, out through the nose. There is a reason for that. Different breaths activate different things, they hit different parts of the brain. And so, if you guys were called to breathe a certain way, it wasn't an accident. Without losing that connection, we are going to gain some further level of consciousness. So, your breath is going to be going where it needs to go. And it might not be perfect, but your breath is going to go where it needs to go because you've been allowing it to. You've taken the reins off of it. And then just recognizing through this process when you try to take those reins back and knowing that it's okay to do that. Recognizing the space between your eyebrows. What do your eyes do as you're recognizing that space? Do your eyes begin to twitch? Or maybe they stay still? Are you funneling your breath there? Do you feel the urge to touch that space? Take your awareness to the space at the center of your throat. Recognizing maybe what the muscles feel like, the different layers. Maybe you feel as the breath passes there. Maybe you have the urge to put your hand there to feel that space, honoring all of it. And maybe you notice that you don't feel your breath there, or maybe you don't feel connected there. Give yourself some extra time and space. Maybe it is that you need to move that space, opening and closing your throat, stretching those muscles, getting connected with why can't I just passively feel this space right now? And then notice what your breath does when you connect to that space. Maybe you take a deep breath. Noticing the center of your heart space, or your heart center, whatever you want to call it. Taking the time to really go there. And this is the perfect opportunity, especially when we're in our hearts, to recognize the judgments that come up. The judgments, not even the bad judgments, but the good judgments as well, right? When I say judgment, it's good, bad, right, wrong. And recognizing if this thought pops up, can I detach from it and say, that's just a thought? As you're connecting to this space, can you notice any type of, whether that's the breath radiating from the heart all the way into the arms, all the way to the fingertips and back up? Can you just allow that space to happen where you open your heart and just, whether you feel a pulse, whether you feel light, whether you feel breath, whether you feel movement, just as you connect with your heart, can you also expand that to both of your arms? Maybe it's one at a time, maybe it's both. And again, coming back to, as you are giving yourself this space, can you pay attention to what happens to your breath as this happens? Not you just controlling your breath, but watching the flow of your breath as you're paying attention to different parts of your body or different thoughts that come into your mind. Maybe it's, I'm not doing this right. Maybe it's that finger, I didn't feel it correctly. Maybe it's the left elbow just doesn't feel right. Maybe as I'm connecting here, it's making my neck tight. Just clear the judgment from those and allow your breath to go where it needs to go. Moving down to your solar plexus, this is where, about where your ribs meet, a little bit below bra line. And sometimes you might hit a spot where your brain doesn't want to go there. And just recognizing, my brain doesn't want to go here. Maybe it gets distracted. That is when the judgmental thoughts come up, is when you're connecting to a space. So if there was any of that that came up in the past, spaces, whether that was in the heart, the throat, between the eyes, recognizing like, I can go back to that space and I can say, hey, I was distracted here. Can I give this spot a little bit more time? My voice is an anchor. Your breath is an anchor. You can always come back to it. And if you feel like you didn't get to connect to a space, you can always go back, and my voice will anchor you back into where we're at. Remember to honor, if you need to breathe in through your mouth, how the breath needs to come in, where it needs to go, what it needs to do, if it needs to move a space. See if you can honor that. And then that space that it was hard to disconnect to or to connect to, do you notice all of a sudden a nice connection to that space? Maybe your breath went there. Maybe you feel a tinge of pain, even, or an ache. Ache and pain, those are also ways that we can connect to spaces that we've been disconnected from. Especially when we don't know how to connect to stillness and silence and a lack of stimulation. Ooh. Go ahead and move to the space right above your belly button. Just like as if you were to get your belly button pierced, right to that space. Remember that you can move, you can place your hand somewhere. Maybe another space is calling to your attention. Can you give that space a recognition, like, I see you, neck pain, and I'm still going to be right here with this space above my belly button. Maybe passing your attention back and forth. Or using your attention to connect to both spaces, the space above your belly button and maybe that space that's really tense. Maybe using your breath to connect to both. And then allowing yourself to fall back into flow. Your breath will take over once you honor both spaces. And take your awareness to your pubic bone. That space right at the center of your pubic bone. If you don't know where that is, you can touch it, you can feel it. Recognizing maybe if you're having trouble connecting to that space, is there a space that's louder that's calling you to your attention? Maybe give that space some attention and then pull it back to your goal. I'm working on connecting here. Once you find that space of connection in your pubic bone, can you do like you did with your heart space? Can you think of, from that pubic bone, from the pelvis, the base of who you are, that root area, can you send out the connections all the way to the tips of your toes, out into your legs to the tips of your toes? and then back up. Almost like a wave, like a crashing. It's moving back and forth. As we're down here in this space, thinking of that vision that you've had for October 31st, allowing it to pop into the forefront of your mind. That energy that's maybe dragging you back of like, there's not enough time. I want something different now. Just staying true to that vision that you set for October 31st. Maybe it's a story you keep repeating over and over and over again, a blame that you keep placing over and over and over again, a drain that keeps stealing your attention. Maybe it's just, if it doesn't happen, it's just one more thing that didn't work. And even if it doesn't work, look at where you've already come in the process. Just by setting the goal, setting the dream, look at what's already come. The gifts that have already been given to you just by starting the process. Checking in with the pubic bone. Checking in with the space above the belly button. Checking in with your solar plexus. Checking in with your heart. The center of your throat. And the space between your eyes. We'll go one step further. Can you hover at the space at the crown of your head, right above your head? So not touching you, just right outside of you, right above you. And that space right above you, that space is connected to all the space around you. Can you expand your consciousness? And then that space that's all around you, going back and remembering that all of our cells aren't actually closed. They're all open to the environment. So all that space that is around you, it's also within you. So on November 1st, you're having crazy faith for something. And even if it doesn't happen, and even if, can you see that it's not a failure? So can you renew your belief for what you set for October 31st? Not even a week away. Remembering that this goal that you set, we set it in crazy faith because there was nothing that we could do to hit this goal. We set it in crazy faith because we knew that there was nothing that we could do to reach it. We've tried everything for this goal. We've already set this goal. The crazy faith is how much can we not blame ourselves? How much can we be grateful? How much are we able to let it flow versus taking the action? Can we take a stance of passiveness? And passiveness still has so much power. There's so much activity going on. But do we judge passiveness, rest, stillness? Do we judge that as doing nothing, as not doing enough, as not providing value, as not doing things to be approved of, as losing control, of allowing the chaos to take over, of disrupting the peace? And slowly bring your awareness back to your breath if you lost it, if it was just flowing and you were just going. Bring yourself back into your body. Maybe that's wiggling your toes, maybe it's moving your neck. Taking your hands, rubbing them together, getting them nice and warm. And then placing your hands above your eyes. And maybe they're not even warm. Maybe just enjoy the coldness of them. Because all that blood flow is in your tummy, it's in your heart, it's in your core organs, it's around your brain. So maybe just let that coolness of your hands, if they're not warm, just take the coolness where it needs to go. Maybe it's your ears. Maybe it's that achy spot. Maybe it's your neck. Maybe it's your heart space. Maybe you feel that tightness. You can slowly begin to open your eyes if they were closed. And then for these last just few minutes, right? We have only 1 minute, but we're going to take some time. And did anything come up for anyone that they found was important for their October 31st crazy faith?
I am absolutely amazed. Like, I started bawling because I realized that the relationship that I was hoping for, like those goals, were not about an external relationship. They were about restoring my relationship with me. So it took a different form, and I was attached to it being in a different form. But I see the ways that I have made leaps and bounds in restoring my relationship with myself, with my authenticity, with my body, with my soul, with my spirit. And like, wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the attachment to the form, right? We have set
Mm-hmm.
these goals that are so big and we put so much pressure on them, we put so much weight on them to be exactly what we think they should be, but we've set these goals and it's like the gift that comes out might not be the form that we thought it's coming in, and it's even better. So that's why it's like, okay, I might have this goal, but even if I don't get that goal, help me to see all the things that came from me setting that goal. And that doesn't mean that I can't have this goal in the future. It's just maybe setting this tight timeline like we did allowed for some big things to come up, some big barriers because we put that pressure on it, right? We put that crazy faith on it. Christy, how about you?
Yeah, so talking about being passive it like I started like almost laughing of like, oh, so it's just gonna magically happen. Like me just doing nothing. God, I hope
Mhm.
you have my back. Like it's just gonna happen. But then I had the same thoughts as Jess of like, no, looking at the process, looking
Mhm.
how it's serving me, like what is it doing?
Uh-huh.
What am I going to learn along the way?
Mhm. Yeah. And it could be, yeah, not it could be, yeah, God's got your back. Yeah, it can just be magic. Because the prayer that I've been called to pray for you ladies this last week was give them a miracle so that they can see that you're working. Because one of the things that I know that you guys are focused on is that October 31st goal. But if you don't get it, I don't want you to lose faith that nothing happened or that you failed or that God failed you, right? It's give them a miracle so they can see that, yeah, God did have your back. Yeah, He was working. Yeah, you didn't have to do anything. You just had to do your best, right? You just had to try. And I used to have like what I called perfect eating disorder, where I thought I had to eat perfect. And it's crazy how little I was able to eat when I thought I had to eat perfect. And the more that I've healed that relationship with not being perfect and like, okay, I'm going to go eat the donut. I can actually eat food without getting migraines. Like, yes, I have these moments where I do, like, I get headaches, but it's not because I ate Chinese food anymore. It's not because I ate broccoli, right? And so it's that crazy faith that your body actually knows what it's supposed to do and God is in there, right? I don't know if Carolyn can jump in. Maybe we'll see. I think she might be in the car.
No, yeah, I'm here. I tried to
Okay.
just listen.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
fine.
still, I feel like I was like called to when you told me like if I could get through that challenge last week of like while walking
Yeah.
and like this idea of like every time you call us to stay still, every fucking time I'm asked to be stretched, right? Can you be still and stretch? Can you still and stretch? Can you still and stretch? That's what I keep hearing, but like not in a bad way, right? Like
Mhm.
this is a season of change
Yeah.
for me. There's a lot of change going on simultaneously. I'm getting stretched in different ways that I've felt peace with. Like I've already stretched, I've already learned, I've already like am I stretching the right way? I know it's
Mm.
I don't like this perfection of stretching. Like, why are you wanting me to change something that has, I don't understand the process. And when I went into this meditation, feeling similar thoughts of like, I don't even know, like imagining being funneled into a
Mhm.
place that is really tight.
Mhm.
Like I have all this room behind me, right? Like because that's where I'm
Mhm.
safe and comfortable and like
Mhm.
there's all this knowledge and
Mhm.
emotional intelligence and but then I'm being funneled into this place that is not yet created and even like funneled to a point where there's no bridge to that other side.
Okay.
Like I don't and I just heard like I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to get there. I just like and it's just trust that the bridge will be built into that other side of this piece that I can't understand how to build or create or like I'm being funneled into like a pinhole and I have to fit through this and I'm like and then you're not gonna have to fit through that pinhole it's going to open up it's all this fucking God's time thing you know
Okay. I have
like
something that I hear.
mm-hmm,
So you're talking about big funneling into small.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
And trusting that will open that it won't be a
And
pinhole.
what if it's you need to recognize that, one, there's nothing that you can do.
Yes.
And so, like, making yourself bigger, like stretching, you're talking about stretching, you're talking
But
about,
like, yeah, I have to stretch, but I also have to get to the other side over there, right? Like
or,
I'm stretching as a person, like getting
yep, I'm
or
actually
stretching
thinking,
downward. Like I have to get skinnier, right? Like
no,
I feel
no,
like I'm being pulled in all directions.
I think actually you, your stretching is actually just being still, which I reflect that.
Right.
It's not getting better. It's not anywhere else. It's not in any kind of change. I think your stretch is coming by just being still. Does that make sense? Like the stretch is the stillness.
Yeah, like it's almost like I'm being held back from my control
Mm-hmm. Yep.
idea. Like stop
Yep.
controlling, stop trying to figure out how you're
Yep.
going to get there. Stop trying to have an answer.
Yep.
Stop trying. Just I'm almost being held back in this funnel
Yep.
because the funnel hasn't really been created yet. You know what I mean? Like the other side hasn't been
Mhm.
created yet.
Yep.
And like just breathe. Like learn how
Yep.
to just stop fucking around and fighting out to like push through.
Yep.
Um
Yep.
just it's not yours. It's not there yet. We're not there's
Wait while
not
I overthink
enough
this.
time and not enough information to
Yep.
be on the other
Exactly.
side of that.
The loop. Yep. The Jess said, wait while I overthink this. Yeah. There's nothing
Yeah.
for you to understand right now. It's just
Right.
simply like, it's that crying out, I'm uncomfortable. I need you to just like, I am getting the blessed opportunity of being a nursing mom in this experience. And so it's like I'm I am getting the space to just holding this little tiny human close and cuddling and letting him feel super safe. And I think that there needs to be that aspect, or there can be that aspect. You could take on that aspect and of recognizing that you're completely held by something that you can't see or understand.
Mhm.
And so it's just when you're coming to like super emotional state where you're just like crying and crying and letting it out and letting it out and letting it out. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Ooh, there's no
It's
accident
wild.
there. Whew.
Letting it out. Letting
Yeah,
it out.
I know. I was like, there's no accident there. So just leaning into that, like there's so many names for God, right? There's so
Mhm.
many names, and God is all of those names. The Yahweh, the breath that we just experienced. God is also the Jehovah Jireh, Father,
Mhm.
and even to its own degree, Mother Earth, right? And there's
Mhm.
that coming back to just allowing yourself to be okay. Like there's nothing wrong, right? When Noah doesn't do anything but just receives nutrients from me.
Mm.
And there is and he cries, and Cadence too. Like they just cry and they don't understand why they're crying, but they just need that safe place.
Mhm.
And we don't always need that, right? We don't need to get addicted to that space, but we also need
Mm.
to recognize that that space is also important, right? There's
Mhm.
not one space that, again, it's that good, bad, right, wrong. Right now, I feel like a crybaby. Right now, I feel like a 1-year old. I'm just crying about everything. Right
Mhm.
now, I can't figure things out. I'm wobbling. I'm climbing up the stairs. I'm falling down.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that you need to get better or be better or stretch differently, or it just means that you're in a place where you're getting to learn how to be taken care of. And I think that's why Ryan challenges you so much,
Mhm.
is because no matter what you do, no matter how loud you scream, no matter how much you argue with him or push back, he's still just, it doesn't even fucking phase him. It's like,
Mm-mm.
it's, it goes back to that time in Michigan where you kept saying, no, go away. What are you doing? Like, I don't want you to see me like this. And me and Ryan are both thinking like, see you like what? Real? Like, this is what Ryan sees all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Ryan sees all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just going back to that, like letting yourself be taken care of. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to eat perfect to lose weight. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to work out to be able to enjoy yourself, right? You don't have to be perfect in your relationship for the relationship to grow or to be connected.
Mm-hmm.
Connection doesn't have to be good, like comfortable connection. It can be the uncomfortable connection.
Yeah, even at work, like how they're like, oh, how can we support you to, get better at this slow thing? And I
Yeah.
like kind of like I went down, like I was like, well, like I was promised this, I need this. And then they realized like, oh, she's just
Mhm.
overwhelmed. She's trying to hold it all together and she's
Uh-huh.
not able to say that she needs help because her pride is in the way. And I told them like I will say no before I will need help. So
Yeah. So it's
instead
just,
of
you don't
like
know how to
I'm like
communicate it.
I'm
Yeah.
not really one to say I need help. I'm gonna say no, I'm not ready, right?
Mhm.
And that's a control thing. And and I'm like, honestly, what I need is just people to just jump in. Like I just need people to like be on my shoulder. Like
Mhm.
I just need them to just be there. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's just something
Yep.
I can't ask for. It's because I
Yep.
don't need help. I'm just creating a pattern of safety for myself. But like I also feel safe when someone's next to me, like,
Yeah.
so
You don't know how to explain it. It's okay.
yeah,
Yep.
and then that week, like people are just showing up and they're like, you know what? Yeah, I could be a part of this. I could be bringing the patient in the room because all of that
Mhm.
is taken care of. We have to show her that the team is helping bring this patient. You don't have to, I basically said, I feel like I'm holding up the whole unit like by myself. Like I'm holding up one room, like I have to do this and then I have to do this and then
Mhm.
I have to do this, and they recognize like, oh yeah, she's not being supported. So yeah, it is going to take her 45 minutes to get a patient in the room because or whatever it is, 25 minutes, like
Yeah.
because she's literally holding that, she's doing everything herself. I'm trying to create a pattern that's organic, that no one's teaching me. Like I'm trying to like pave a way by myself with
Yep.
no help. Like if I just had someone next to me, I feel like it would go
Yep.
just like 10 times quicker because they're creating that.
Delegation.
Yeah. And I'm not
But
used to working
you
with a
also
team.
you're in this breaking point. Your stretch is actually giving up things. It's not
Yes.
it's not the capacity for more,
Yes.
it's the
Yes.
capacity to let things go to people who they
And
need to go
trust.
to. Yeah. Yeah.
And trust that your team will fall, like whether it's God, the universe, like everything's
Yeah.
gonna follow through. Like
Yeah.
you
You're
like
not it might, like, again, guys, remembering that making somebody else uncomfortable is okay.
mm,
It gives them capacity, or it gives them the ability to stretch, right? Making somebody else uncomfortable because you're going the speed limit and it pisses them off that you're going the speed limit and
uh-huh.
they can't get around you, right?
Uh-huh.
It's still giving, like, there is beauty in that. And so recognizing like this stillness time, you can't receive help. And so throughout this process of like, I set a goal just to be surprised. Well, do you let yourself receive surprises without resistance of like, okay,
Mm,
now I got to give back to them or whatever it might be, like recognizing through for October 31st. After that, do you guys have renewed hope, renewed faith, renewed strength for the 31st? I set this goal. And even if it doesn't happen, I'm still going to keep this goal. And I'm excited for what's to come on the 31st. I'm excited to see what happens on the third, like by the 31st.
mm.
Yay. I love that. And Christy, it's so perfect. I'm telling you. I eat better and I feel better when I am not in a place to control my food. So when I'm on vacation or when somebody else is cooking for me, it's like I find because I don't control it so much and I don't put so much guilt on it. It's like, oh, I didn't have any control over it. So you're in a great place the last 7 days of this. I want to see what happens there. So I'm excited. Okay, guys, we have renewed strength. We have renewed faith. We have renewed hope. That's what because I could feel the energy drop. So that was the main thing, is I wanted to remind you that you're not doing it. I'm not doing it. God's doing it. And just to be watchful for it so that you don't beat yourself up. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
How does everybody feel? We feel like we have strategies to just go do the things that we want to do without feeling guilty for all of the things that we need to do? Yeah, awesome. Okay. All right. I'm going to message you guys individually and find out who can be there on the 1st versus who can't. And if they can't, then we'll just reschedule it for the 8th. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, ladies, it was a great time, and you guys keep in the group. Let me know. Keep me updated on what's going on. Keep messaging, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay.
Sounds great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.